All right. All right, so people will start joining in, and we'll just do a little brief introduction. My name, Professor Medina. I have been with Dallas College since 2017. I have taught as an adjunct professor at UTA in Arlington and at Texas Tech University. And my background is in education. Obviously, I started as a second grade bilingual teacher in Dallas ISD, and then I moved to Grand Prairie ISD, where I worked in central office as a testing facilitator. And I also worked later as a campus administrator. I was a principal. I have experience as a campus administrator in elementary, middle school, and high school. And I also worked in Arlington ISD. So I have K through 12 experience, and then I moved to higher ed. I love what I do, and I hope that this passion, that I can transmit some of that passion that I have for teaching towards you, because I know that you are preparing to become a teacher. So I'm very excited to have you in class. I do have several of my former students spread out throughout my classes this summer. So that's a delight to see my former students join my class. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and start off the meeting. I'm going to go over the assignments. I'm going to show you where to find the content on the course, how to navigate it, and we're going to go over the field experience. And it seems to me that the field experience is what has, or the field observations is what students want to know more about, and that tends to take more questions. So I'll go over whatever questions you may have. Are there any questions right off the bat that you want to ask and get out of the way? I see your initials, AG, Adriana Gonzalez?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I was wondering when exactly, if we're going to have like an exact date where we're going to be meeting.
Okay, great question. So we are not going to, it is not mandatory to meet like we're meeting now. But so this actual meeting was optional. I am recording it for those who are not able to attend, and I'm going to post it on the course announcements. But you do have the option to visit with me in my virtual office Mondays from 9 to 10 a.m. Oh, and you can, so what I do, I usually just do I'm working, and I have the course room, I have it open, so you can drop in and you just say, hey, Professor Medina, and then I'll stop doing what I'm doing and I'll come to the screen and visit with you. That's every Monday, and which is short for us because we only have 4 or 5 weeks, right? But you have that option. And you can also send me an email if that time doesn't work. Send me an email and I'll be more than glad to meet with you.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So yes, we not mandatory, but completely optional if you want to meet with me. Any other questions? Okay. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can share my screen so we can take a look at okay, here we go. You should be able to see my course. Now, I won't be able to monitor the chat because I have the screen so far. I'm going to ask you to monitor the chat for me. Are you able to do that?
Yes. Hi, Professor. I think you're on mute.
Thank you. Just Pablo or anyone monitor the chat for me. Thank you. So now you should be able to see the screen. Every time you open the course, you should land on the announcements page. There are some announcements that you've not seen just yet, but you should have seen this one where I posted a welcome message. I should do the student preview here so you see what I have what you see. So there it is. And also, I send out a copy to your email, preferred email that you have on eConnect when I post an announcement. Oh, somebody has their mic on, so see if you can turn it off. If you're not, if you don't need to ask a question, please turn off your mic because we get that feedback. All right, your textbook. You should see your textbook under the course link, learning materials. And when you click the very first link that you'll see is access the textbook and register for MindTap. So if you have never used MindTap before, I think I'm blocking it. Let's see if it's oh, it's not pulling up. So it's gonna open up on a different tab. There it goes. And make sure that you don't have those pop-up blockers as well on your browser. So it'll open up for you, but you'll find the textbook under the learning materials. When you click on the chapter, each link, like the first one, will always just be the learning objectives for that chapter. And so, for example, here they are, the learning outcomes. And then you might have, this is the actual chapter. And you have those active links if you want to skip to whatever section. Some chapters will have like a scenario where you can, watch the video. Any of these activities you can do on your own, but they're just for practice. You do not get, it's not graded. However, it is helpful and useful to go through the content just to help you understand what we the questions that we ask in class, or the assignments, whatnot. So there's the chapter, and then some of the chapters will have some digital downloads that would be beneficial for you as well. So you should be able to access the textbook. Now, to access the syllabus, make sure you click on that link, open it up, and you could print it. Now, a piece of advice that you might not know, but if you're planning to transfer to another college or university, it's beneficial to print the syllabus and archive it, save it somewhere, because you might be able to transfer this course to the transferring university. Sometimes those universities want to know if the course that you want to take credit for at that university is an equivalent course, and sometimes they'll ask to see the syllabus to see if the learning outcomes and the assignments are equivalent to the course at the other university. So that's one of the many reasons you should print the syllabus. So with that said, I think this is, no, that's, I don't want you to see this. Let's see here. I should have, so anyways, this is the syllabus. I don't know why it didn't open, but here it is. You have my office number, the times that you can meet, certification date, and when you can withdraw with a W, so you don't get an F for the course, the learning outcomes, and you can go through that on your own. I'm not going to read word for word. This is the text that we're using. And then here's an explanation of how you can earn your grade. There's 4 unit exams, each worth 50 points. There's weekly assignments in the form of either a chapter quiz or a discussion board post. When you post a discussion board, you have to reply to 1 classmate. The introduction required you to reply to 3 classmates, but from this point forward, you are only expected to reply to 1 classmate. There's the field observation forms, A and B. A is just your demographic information. B is kind of like a contract or just an agreement statement where you know what the expectations are. And Form C is the time log, where you're going to log the times that you have been observing, whether in person or through video. And we'll go over that in a minute. You also have to write 3 essays. These are the field observation reports. They're each worth 100 points. So you should have accumulated a maximum of 1,000 points by the end of the semester. Here's the breakdown and how that translates to the letter grade. Here's an explanation of the assignments. And so let me say a little bit about late work policy. Obviously, just like every other professor, I expect you to submit on time. And when you scroll to the course calendar, you have, I think, 5 different due dates, right? So and it's broken down by units. Unit 1, which is composed of your introductions, which you've already done, and the reply to your classmates. You have a chapter 1 quiz, chapter 2 discussion board post, the forms A and B, and then unit 1 exam. So you have those dates clearly stated here. So if you anticipate that you're going to be maybe going out of town or taking some training at work or something that is going to impede you from submitting on the due date, submit early. And that'll take care of any issues having to submit or ask permission to submit late. So this is the reason why you have the due dates. You can always submit earlier. There's no penalty for that, and that'll prevent you from getting in trouble for not submitting on time. So there's the course calendar. If someone's hospitalized, there's a death in the family, then I can work with you. But other than that, the expectation is that you do submit on time. For many reasons, because it's just when I sit down and grade, it's just very difficult to go back and try to grade something that's already been graded. So if it'll make it a lot easier for me. So here's your syllabus. The assignments, we'll go over the field experience or the field observation essays or reports, because I think that those are a big part of your grade, 300 points. If you want to know a little bit more about the course, you can visit the tab or the link, course information, where you can see, again, the calendar, how you earn your grade. And then there's also the rubric for the discussion board, which will give you an explanation of what's expected when you're posting. I do expect you to submit a thorough, someone has their mic on. Who is that? Melody, can you turn off your mic? Thank you. All right. So I expect, if it's a discussion board post, and in fact, it's clearly explained on the questions that are asked, for example, for chapter 2. Refer to your textbook. A piece of advice, also go to the PowerPoint slides. The PowerPoint slides have really good information that can help you answer the questions. So when you refer to your textbook, obviously you're going to say according to and your authors, I forget the name, Gordon and Browning, according to the authors such and such, that tells me that you're referring to the textbook, to the content that we're covering in class. I ask you to copy and paste the questions that you see and answer right below it. Very few students just write, and I don't even know which question they're answering, because it's like all one connected string of words. So I need you to separate that just so I understand what you're answering. So copy and paste the questions below. And it says here, your answers to the question should show that you have read and understood the content and that you've reviewed the PowerPoint slides. There might be very few questions that you might not find answers to, or it's not very clear in the textbook. Go to the PowerPoint. The PowerPoint slides will give you more information. And answer substantially and elaborate when needed. So don't, one thing I will ask you to do, I have taught this course for many semesters. I know the content of the PowerPoint slides. Don't copy and paste. Number one, that's plagiarism, right? And then number two, that doesn't tell me that you've learned anything when you're just going to copy and paste. And I can tell when you copy and paste. So don't do that. I want to know from your own words what you know, using your very own words, so you can reword the content that you're reading, but don't just copy and paste. And also elaborate. Don't just try to explain what you know, because this is how I know that you've understood the content. That is the whole point. That I know that you've read it and processed and understood what was asked of you to read. So anyways, there's the rubric right there for the discussion board, so you know what the expectation is. You can always go here to check your grades. If you don't know how to use eCampus, there's some tutorials there. For the School of Education, just very quickly, if you're just getting started and you want to learn more about the degree plans that we offer at Dallas College, go to that link and you can go to, there's different Associate of Arts in Teaching degrees that we offer. I have several students during on their introduction, they posted that they earned their associate's degree. That is so exciting. Congratulations to those of you who have already earned your associate's degree. If you're thinking about earning an associate's degree, then go to that link on here. Piece of advice, you might want to write this down. If you're thinking of transferring to a university to earn your teaching degree, listen to this carefully. When you earn an associate's degree in the state of Texas, any receiving university by law has to accept or transfer all the core subjects that you have taken and are listed on your associate's degree. You should not be asked to take any freshman or sophomore level courses, because your associate's degree states that you've already earned those credits. Some universities will try to tell you that you have to take freshman or sophomore courses. You should not. And write this down. The Higher Education Coordinating Board states that they should not. If they do, you should call the Higher Ed Coordinating Board and let them know. And they themselves will connect with the university and tell them that they have to accept all your courses. But it only if you've earned an associate's degree. If you went into courses and did not earn the associate's degree, the university can ask you to take whatever freshman and sophomore level courses they ask you to take. But this is a good piece of information to have. Now, if you've already earned the associate's degree, there's also a bachelor's degree. Here's the link to the website, and here's all the information that you would need to have to earn your bachelor's degree. It tells you how to get started, if you're a new student or if you're a current student, and they tell you all that you have to do, and there's the Q&A right there. So just very quickly, just, information that is useful. Now, for the course, there's this units. It is broken down into units as you saw on the syllabus in the course calendar. And when you click on units and assignments, you're going to land on this page. When you click on unit 1, you're going to have the different folders for your assignments. So there is I model the 5E lesson plan model. Which is engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and the last piece is evaluate. Why? Because you're studying to become a teacher, and it's good to see those different lesson plan formats, and this is one of them. So in the engage piece, a teacher will try to pique your interest, and there's an activity, whether it be a short read or a video clip or a question that's posed to the students to pique your interest on what's about to be covered. So you'll find something here that'll try to pique your interest or hook your attention, right? Your focus. In some of this, as an incentive for going through the 5E model, if you stop and do the activities that are listed on the engage section, there's an opportunity to learn to earn extra credit. So if in some of those chapters, you have to go through them and see which ones those are. But there's an opportunity if you go through the 5E model. I'll post the objectives as any good teacher should, and you will be doing that when you start teaching. You need to post your learning outcomes or learning objectives. So they'll be posted here. And then there's a PowerPoint, usually in the explain section, and the elaborate and evaluate will be your assignments for that folder. Now notice that this is the introductions, which is for this week. It says that I have somebody waiting in the lobby. Let me see if I can admit them. Okay. Now, and this gives you this link here. If you want to learn a little bit more about the 5E model lesson plan, click on this link and it'll give you more information about it. If you've not learned about it just yet, I encourage you to learn a little bit more about it, because you will be soon, if you continue taking the education courses, you will be writing your own lesson plans. And this is one of the lesson plan formats that teachers use to write their lesson plans. I'm going to stop here and ask if anybody has any questions so far. Okay, I'm going to continue.
Professor, so when you were referring to the PowerPoints in the menu on the left side, where are they? I didn't see in my side the PowerPoint.
Yes, so they're not going to be here. They're going to be in the actual folder. So when you go to these folders here, so for example, I'm going to click now on chapter 1. So you're going to.
So go back again. Where exactly do I go first?
Okay, when you see the link, units and assignments, and then you go to your unit and then the chapter, and you're going to see under the explain section, you'll see the PowerPoint. So when you click on it, it'll open up the PowerPoint, and you could print it if you like, or you can have it open as you're reading your textbook, and it kind of helps you organize your reading and your thoughts as you're processing the information that you're reading. So it's just a little beneficial to have that. I have some videos also that help in some of the chapters, and the videos will help you. I think might be chapter 4. Let me see. Yep, here they are. So there's different videos that you have here to help understand each different theory that we're studying. Then there's, like an Easter egg, I guess, the youth call, those who play video games, it's hidden somewhere, so you'll have to find it. So spoiler alert, there's an extra credit opportunity on chapter 4. You see it here. So when you click on it, you have the opportunity to answer a question. And it just is related to the content of the chapter. So not only is it helping you understand the content, but it's also giving you the opportunity to earn some extra points. So that's where you're going to find the PowerPoint, which will be under the explain section of each of the chapter folders that you see. One PowerPoint has the extra credit in the PowerPoint. So that's just an Easter egg that you're going to have to find if you're interested in the extra credit. So that's the units and each of the chapters. If you want to visit with me on Mondays from 9 to 10 a.m., you can click on virtual office right here. and it'll take you to the course room, and you click on here where it says course room and just click on join. And when you join in, you have to unmute and let me know that you're in the room, because what I'm doing, I'm grading, I'm doing other things, you know, in other tabs that I'm working on. So you just have to alert me that you're there. So this is what it looks like. You just have to unmute and let me know that you're in. Discussion board. So you can access the discussion board through this link here, but you can also access it. You can access it during when you're going through the unit, through the chapter. So for example, here's the link to that discussion board post, and there's the questions listed. Also, the unit tests. The unit tests, you're not gonna find them on the course links here. You're gonna find them at the end of the chapter, of the last chapter for that unit. So for example, unit 1, the last chapter for unit 1 is chapter 2. So when you open chapter 2 and scroll to the bottom, you'll see that unit 1 test. Okay. Now I'm going to go over the field experience or field observations. So when you click on the field observations link, it's going to open up this page. You have a field observations handbook that I myself wrote, and in it you have all the information that you'll need about field observations. If you want to skip to a section, you can just click on the page and it'll take you to that section. So for example, this is the dress code guidelines. So if you're going to be observing in person, obviously you're representing the college. So you don't want to misrepresent us, right? You want to dress as a teacher. You want to dress professional. You want to conduct yourself in a professional manner. So make sure that you're not wearing spaghetti straps for the ladies, or short skirts, or like jogging pants to teaching. Even though you might see some teachers who dress that way. I don't know the dress code for each district, but my advice is that you dress professional and then you carry yourself in a professional manner. And by this, I mean, don't talk about the students, right? Because you never know who's listening, and it's just the right thing to do. You don't talk about, oh my gosh, you know, so-and-so got a 50 and it was such an easy assignment. And you just don't know the student's background. You don't know if the student is receiving services. You don't know if the student is an English learner. You don't know, so don't make assumptions and don't disclose confidential information. Don't talk about students in the parking lot or the teacher's lounge or in the cafeteria. Just carry yourself in a professional manner. Don't talk about that you went clubbing and came home at 3 o'clock, and you know, nobody wants to know that. So just, you know, try to carry yourself in a professional manner. So this is if you want to know about the field observations, this is where you get all the information that you need. The first things first, because you will be, if you're in person, and we have to protect our kiddos, our young students, anyone who's a minor, we have to go through a criminal background check. So each district has their own policy and a different process of doing the background check. So you have to check their website. I have provided, for your convenience, I have provided a few of the districts that have partnered with us, have allowed our students to do observations in their schools. And those are, for example, Richardson ISD, Garland ISD, Grand Prairie ISD, and Dallas ISD. And if you click on the page, for example, it'll take you to the section that you click on. So for example, Richardson ISD, if they're doing summer school, so this is a very, this will be a challenge for us because we are in summer school. So the good thing is that summer school in most area districts is in the month of June, and you're taking the class at the same time that they do summer school. So I would suggest that you go to the district website and try to see if they're offering summer school. If they offer summer school, go to the human resources department, because they will be the ones that have the information for the background check. Richardson ISD has provided that information for us. I need to turn off notifications because people will be calling. Okay, this is, if you're interested, you follow the instructions. That would be Richardson ISD. Garland ISD has a different set of instructions, and Dallas ISD has a different set of instructions. This is if you are interested in doing face-to-face observations. The district that's not listed here but is doing summer school is Irving ISD. You can also go to their website and do the research and see if they're doing what background check process they have and submit it. But you have two options. You can do face-to-face observations and follow this process I just covered, or you can do video observations. Now, for the video observations, you would go to the field observation assignments. When you click on here, towards the middle of the page, you're going to see a section that says field observation videos. When you click on the video library, it's going to open up a document that has all these videos listed here for you, with the grade level, the subject more or less that they're covering, and I think gives you the minutes as well for each of the videos. In the end, all of this should give you enough minutes to equal at least the 16 hours. Now, you also have additional videos to watch, which are planning for an inclusive classroom, teacher evaluations, and lesson planning. This should give you enough to accumulate the 16 hours. So where can you find these videos, these last videos? You're going to find them right here under each essay that you need to write. Those videos, and I call those featured videos because these videos will help you answer the questions listed for your assignment for that essay. So if, for example, those of you who are doing face-to-face observations, you can ask those specific questions to the teacher you're observing. But if there's some of you who are not observing in person, but you still need to answer these questions, then you go to the featured video to help you with that. Each of these will have a featured video where you go to help you answer the questions for the assignment. Each of these essays has very specific questions that you need to answer, because this is going to tell me that you've read the textbook, and that you have aligned that new knowledge or new content to what you're observing in the classroom. So it's kind of connecting theory to practice, to what actually happens in the classroom. So these essays should be written in APA format, APA style, double spaced, with the font 12 and Times New Roman, 1-inch margins on the side all around, and you should answer the questions that are listed. And each of these is worth 100 points. Any questions so far?
Professor Medina,
Go ahead.
On the okay, on those field reports, the way you said about answering the questions, are we gonna just copy and paste the question and then answer it, or do you want us to do it in a paragraph format? Yes,
great question. Paragraph format. Just like an APA report, you know, when you write, do not, don't. And I know I might be misleading you when I say you should answer all the questions, right? Yes, even though I do want you to cover the questions that are listed, don't list the question and just answer, because that's it doesn't tell me exactly. It's not written substantially, I guess, and does not let me know how much you know. So it's best to write it in essay format, and within that essay, I want you to address the questions that I really want you to pay attention to when you're observing. So great question. Thank you for asking.
Thank you.
Of course. And I see S. Jones. Shakira, yes, ma'am?
Hi, so my name is Shakira, and my question is, the textbooks for the weekly assignments, how do we find the assignments? Because it just shows like grading cards.
The assignments, you're going to find them under the units / assignment link on the course menu. So when you go to units and assignments and you click on the folder, and then you go to the chapter towards the bottom of the page, you're going to find the assignments.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. And I think that, and the weekly assignments is either a quiz or a discussion board post.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense now, because I was confused earlier. Thank you.
Yes, so it's either one or the other, and then everything else will be the unit tests, or the essays, or the field observation forms A and B or C.
Right. So the discussion board that we did yesterday, the day before, did that count for this week or first?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear very well. It's kind of cutting off. Can you repeat the question?
Yes, so for the discussion board that we completed yesterday, would that count for the assignment for this week?
Yes. That is one of the assignments. So, and I'm not going by week, I'm going by unit. So don't let that mislead you. So if you look at the syllabus for unit 1, you're gonna have the introductions discussion board post, which is here. And then you have the chapter 1 quiz, the chapter 2 discussion board post. Make sure that you're replying to at least one classmate. And then you have your field observation forms A and B and the unit 1 exam. This is due on June 12th. The only thing that was due on June 6th and 7th was your introduction and a reply to 3 classmates. Everything else is due on June 12th. So I'm not doing weekly, I'm doing by unit.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that.
You're welcome.
Professor Medina, I have a question on the exams and quizzes.
Okay.
I know that I was looking at them and I saw the description says that we have multiple attempts.
Yes, so for the unit, there's unit exams. So then you have a chapter quiz, right? For chapter 1, all the odd number chapters is a quiz, 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. And then you have unit exams. So the unit exam is gonna encompass the chapters covered for each of those units. So for example, unit 1, there's 2 chapters, chapter 1 and 2. So at the end of chapter 2, you'll take a unit exam.
Right, I understand that, but I was just clarifying, like, I know, like, once we take quizzes and exams, like, once we click on the link, it says that we can have multiple attempts to take that quiz or exam.
So for the, you should have 2 attempts, and I take the highest grade. The second attempt is not always the identical questions that you took the first time. And the reason why I allow that is just in case there were, you had technology issues or somebody came at the door and then you got up, forgot about it. But I only give those the second opportunity and that's it. So make sure that you are, technology wise, that everything's going and working and you're in a quiet place where you can do your work and submit. It is timed, so make sure it will submit on its own when the time is up. So make sure that you are timing yourself when you are working on those quizzes or tests.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, any other questions?
Yes, I was going to ask you on the quiz number 1. On there was a question about, I think it was one in blank, kids in the U.S. are in poverty. I found the answer in the book and it said 1 in 5, but when I put 5 as the answer, it marked it wrong.
So let me take a look at that. I'm gonna write it down.
When I took the test again, because I was like, okay, if it's not 1 in 5, they probably meant 1 in 3. But the second time that question wasn't there. I had 2 different other questions.
Yeah. Okay, so let me take a look at it, and I can get back with you. It's possible that either way, I need to look at how the question is worded, because sometimes it's worded where they try to trick you, or the answer key is incorrect. So when it grades it wrong. So I'll check on that. Thank you for bringing that up, though. And I'm gonna send out an email to everybody. But you know what? I won't be able to do that until well, anyways, I'll send an email to update everybody on that. Good question. Thanks for pointing that out. Okay. Are there...
the syllabus, Professor, it was saying something about certification. What is that exactly about, that you gotta certify us in order to pass a class or something like that? Or
Oh, I would love for you to show me exactly where it is. It says
let me find it.
Okay. Just so I know what it's regarding and what it is in regards to. Let me see. I'm doing a word search here. Oh, certification date. I'm thinking so if it's on the first page, that is for financial aid purposes. So if anybody is receiving financial aid, I have to certify the class for attendance. And that only, for you as a student, that means that you need to submit an assignment. So I know that you're present in the class and I certify your attendance. That's one of those, that's where I found certification on the first page. And then on the second page, there is the SBEC, what I call SBEC. It's an acronym, the State Board of Educators Certification, Pedagogy, and Professional Responsibilities. So there's some standards that are listed that are aligned with the student learning outcomes. So it's just saying that we are in alignment with what the State Board of Educators certification requires of new teachers. And those are the only 2 words I found, I think, on certification. Let's see. Yep, that's it. Did that help, Pablo? Okay, good. All right. Are there any other questions? All right, class. I think I've been reading your introductions, and oh my goodness, you guys, I'm so proud of you. Some of you have earned your associates already. Some of you are working towards your bachelor's. You guys are rocking and rolling. I think it's going to be an exciting class. I hope that you learn, that what you learn is beneficial and useful to you in your teaching career. I'm approachable. If you want to connect with me, let me know. You have different options. And I think it's going to be a great month for us. I have covered what I needed to cover. If you have no further questions, this meeting is over. But if you want to still ask a question, I'll hang around for a minute or 2 and make sure that I cover all your questions. Thank you for coming, first of all. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here. And I'll post the link to the meeting recording on the course announcements. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Professor McNabb.
You're welcome.
I have a question. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, don't be sorry. Go ahead.
I had just came in probably like 10 minutes ago, but my main question was that, okay, so it's 3 parts of the field observation reports, correct?
Yes.
Okay, each part is different, right?
Right. So if there's, it should be 2 separate essays. One essay and a set of questions, another essay and a set of questions, and the same for the third.
Okay, so the questions are to be answered in essay format, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, well that's, and then so we just fill out the hours that we are completing on that little sheet that's on there, right?
Yes. It's
Okay.
Form C, and you'll find it on the field assignments section of eCampus, and also on the hand.
Okay, perfect. That's what I needed to know.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right.
I had a question.
Sure.
I was just wondering, is there a specific grade level, or can it be any grade, or it has to be like the elementary lower?
Great question. It's 3rd grade and below, because yes, this is educating the young child. So TECA covers 3rd grade and below.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Any other questions?
Professor,
Yes.
I forgot to mention to you because I arrived today and I started traveling yesterday evening. However, I didn't take notes, but I volunteered because they were shorthanded in my wife's elementary school, but it's Carrollton Farmers Branch, which I work, but I'm in high school. However, I volunteered for 6 hours on Monday. I didn't take notes, and yesterday as well, but I can start picking my own brain immediately to start putting those notes. As a matter of fact, the only thing I did was taking pictures of classroom setups, because I always take pictures of every classroom, because what I do is try to collect one day the best of every version to put it together, hopefully one day. Hopefully that day will be next year. Will that also, can I use that and do the remaining on videos?
So it seems that it will help you answer questions to the first essay, because on the first essay you have to draw a map of the classroom setup, and you said that you took pictures. So you might take a look at the questions under the first essay and see if your notes will help you answer those questions. And you did do it this month of June, so then you should be okay for those hours, and then you can do the rest of the hours through video.
Now, yesterday I was in a bilingual classroom. Will that help me on the diversity, or the other thing in the diversity in a regular classroom as well? Because I pay attention. Yesterday it was funny because they have the tables, and they have, like, the teacher was having different backgrounds in every table, but different genders in the different table as well. And that was very, to me, like, wow, good. They have is that something that I can use as well?
You can definitely use that. Yes, definitely diversity can be socioeconomic, gender, language, obviously ethnicity, or even ability, that you might have some students that are at a higher level academically than others. So the grouping can be very dynamic, and you can look and see how, diverse the groups are, how did they benefit from that. So yes, you can use that to answer the question on diversity. Good, you're getting ahead of the game, Pablo. Doesn't surprise me at all.
Well, the thing is, I volunteered because they were kind of short-handed.
That's nice. I'm so glad that you did that, because you help them, but you're also helping yourself. So it's really.
Trust me, every time I have an opportunity, I did my other observations in Garland ISD, and oh my God, it was awesome. To be honest, I'm being lucky because I have observed literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different teachers in different levels. And to be honest, I'm very proud of those teachers, each one of them.
And you'll see that every teacher has a different style of teaching, and it doesn't mean that one's better than the other, but you can learn so much from observing different teachers, different grade levels, or different content areas. So it's good that you're spreading out your observations. I was going to say something else. Oh, and this goes to those of you that are still here. If you have the opportunity to observe a parent-teacher meeting, that would be very beneficial as well, because that prepares you for your future meetings that you'll have with parents. So if that ever happens to come up, try to volunteer for one of those, because they're very interesting, and it's a good learning opportunity as well. So I see that Luisa, you're still here, and I'm not sure if I'm going to say your name right, Miluska. If you guys do you have any questions that I can help answer?
I guess I just have one more. I think you kind of answered it, but I just kind of want to verify. Can you do like both the videos, like for the observation and in person? Because I know I could probably do in person, but I can't do all the hours. And so I was wondering, because I do want to be in person, but I'm not going to be able to do everything.
Right. Yes, that's a great question, and I think everyone will benefit from the answer. Yes, you can mix face-to-face or in-person observation and video for sure.
Okay, thank you. That I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want it to just, if I started with person and I had to finish in person. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great semester.
Okay. Yes, thank you so much.
Of course. All right. Well, thank you, Pablo. I appreciate, and Luisa and everyone else, I appreciate you guys being here. Yes.
One last question about the parent-teacher meeting, because some of those are being doing through WebEx, some of them. If I'm able to squeeze, because my wife is doing summer school right now, if I'm able to squeeze in one of those WebEx, would that be okay? I don't guarantee it, of course.
No, that's fine. And I would even count those as observation hours, that 1 hour that you're meeting, with the parent, because we do cover that. We do cover in this class parent-teacher meetings, and I think it's beneficial. So you can certainly, if you're able to, yes, you can count that towards your observations as well.
Thank you, actually, for you doing this, because I have the questions and all the stuff that thank God. I will see you Monday.
All right, perfect. I'll see you then. Have a
Take
great
care,
rest of your
Professor.
week. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.